to, right, she's going to throw one of these 3 minutes. I'm going to throw it this way.
All right, we're good.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So when Kay called me last month to ask to present, I said, Kay, I'm busy. Call me back. She called me again, and I said, Kay, I'm busy. I finally decided to call Kay, hence I'm here. So good morning and welcome. How many of you are case managers? You see them at the door. So not that many, but I am the case manager at Spooner House. I'm going to work this. There we go. So Spooner House, I'm just going to give you a backdrop of Spooner House. And there's a line for our phone number, but our phone number still works if you want to give us a call. Spooner House was founded in 1979, and this is actually our new facility that opened in 2008, and it has a 36-bed facility. So it's a really beautiful building. You know, our mission was simple, to equip residents to be self-sufficient and provide all the necessary tools so they do not go back to homelessness. So that's kind of our shelter as well, too, some pictures of our shelter. We're in the greater New Haven area. And that's just some bios and stats about us, because we're also a food bank that services our local valley area. So, providing all necessary tools. That means we were not housing focused. We kept residents sometimes up to 2 years in our program. We call them long stays. We wanted to make sure that they were equipped. So as Kay said, and as John said, we wanted to make sure that they had the parenting classes in place. They were going to substance abuse programs, that they were just doing the necessary things that they could survive once they leave shelter. And really, it just kept them there longer. So in 2016, we met with Kay to change our whole program. So literally, we took our rule packet and we just threw it out the window. And we said, we'll start all over. As she mentioned before, those rules were set from years ago, probably from 1979. And we had to make some changes if we wanted to be housing first model. We wanted to get them out quicker, faster, and we did find that necessary tools that they would need to keep them housed, they can do that in their own apartment. So we started from scratch. So in April 2016, we kicked off Let's Get Crazy, Let's Get Housed. You said, what? I had a lot of slides with pictures instead of words because we speak about it. We talked about becoming housing first. So that's the day we became housing first. So all those rules, those curfews, those warnings, you had to be here and there, they were gone. We started all over again. We asked residents to sit on a resident panel. These were your rules. What could we change? How could Spooner House be better than what we are now? So we kicked off Let's Get Crazy. It worked. House meetings, weekly, music. We kept them energized. I'm kind of a lively person anyway, so I kept that house going. Whatever we needed to do, we wore hats. We just made that facility. We wanted that excitement to elude. You got to get out of shelter, and how do we help you do that? But as we were doing this, we had to talk to the board, we had to talk to the community, we had to talk to staff. No one wanted to become housing focused. They liked the rules. We did breathalyzers, we did drug testing. You had to go to parenting. You had to take substance abuse classes. You had to. But how many of you are being told you had to do something in your own home? So those things went out, and they were scared. And we were scared, because we didn't know what to do. We didn't have a timeline or a diagram to say, what do we do? How do we do this? You know, if someone comes back under the influence, how do we handle it? We just took a chance, and that's what we did. So we changed the house. We put boards up. So John mentioned his board. So when you come into the door of Spooner House, the first thing you do, you're going to get a key. That key you place on the bottom says Spooner House. All of our language changed. We changed our wording. It became a housing plan and not a case conference plan. It became your housing discharge date instead of your discharge date for the shelter. From day one, you have to be housing ready. So we started day one. So once you met with me from the first intake, welcome, have a tour, you know where this and that is, and then here's the date of your housing discharge date. My housing discharge date, I just got here. I haven't unpacked. Here's your date. And we started from that date. So there was not a day to waste. So throughout the house, there's boards, there's flyers that say it's all about housing. As they accomplish something, they move along the path. And Kay said it too. People are competitive in nature. If I saw Kay, I'm competitive. So if I saw her, one step ahead of me, I'm going to try to beat her. And that's what it became. And people are moving. People were moving faster to get out of the shelter. We didn't want them there. They belong in their own place. They belong in their own home, and we had to make that happen at School and House. So, we talked about shift. We shift a lot. Everything shifted. Shift. And our rules changed. We wanted to get them out fast, but we wanted to get them out prepared. So,
Just go back, so, you see, this is our rules now. Do you love that? I never saw that before. Don't play ball in the house.
okay.
It's a rule.
It's a rule, yeah. Did I go? There we go.
No, they want the rules.
Oh,
Never give us wrong, just don't talk while you're eating.
And again, about rules, like I said, we went to monthly house meetings. Everything, the staff, one of the things we did, we trained the staff to have different conversations. I didn't want to come in the morning and hear, oh, this, and this, but what did you talk about for housing? What happened for housing? Every day is a day wasted. For us, it's, by noon, what are you doing for tomorrow? What are you doing for the next day? What are you doing for the week? You have to be out to look for work, to look for an apartment. Our program, like when I say it changed, everything changed from every piece of paperwork that we had, we said was housing. And that's what we focused on. We could not have done this without volunteers in the community. We host a monthly volunteer session. And at that volunteer session, we also talk about housing. We talk about what goes on at Spooner House, but can you help us? Can you help us with this? Can you help us with jobs? Can you help us with apartments? Do you know anyone? We started doing this last year, and after every volunteer training that we have, I get at least 3 or 4 emails about opportunities for apartment sharing, or for employment that we follow up on. That's because we're having that conversation at the door. We're having it with everyone that we meet, that we engage in. Our executive director, she goes to area churches. She's having that conversation at the churches. We leave no stone unturned at Spooner House. We want them housed, and we need a community effort to do that. We just don't have the funds, and sometimes the community can be that great assistance for us. So, from April last year to July 16th, we started in April 1st for our shifting to a housing first model. For July 16th, from July 2016, we housed 18 families in permanent housing. Those families are still housed, they have not returned back to homelessness, and we stay in touch with our residents. So one of the things that Kay mentioned as well, once you leave Spooner House, you're still part of the Spooner House community. You're invited to every event. You still can use our food bank. We send birthday cards, we send Christmas cards. We let them know, we're still here. You're not there by yourself. You're not alone, and you can do this. So where we are now, we have weekly house meetings, weekly self-help sessions, resident focus groups. We are food diversion. One of the things with the whole process of us trying to be housing first, we reassessed each client that was already in the shelter. So we had a long stayer. He was there 2 years, maybe more. We reassessed his situation. What can we do to get you out? Can grandma has that nice house with the basement, can grandma help you? We have the opportunity to have food diversion, so we have a food bank. If that family can take on another family, we'll offer that entire family food to cover that expense. So they don't have to feed, but this is our way of saying thank you for taking that family in. We do welcome home baskets. Residents see these baskets and they want one. So what do I do to get this basket? How do I get this basket? They can come back to our food bank once they left the program. We have a block party every year. They can come to the block party and still stay acclimated to that Spooner House community. You're not alone, and I want to know if you're going to face homelessness again. But as I said, we've been housing since this, at least one person, almost every month to permanent housing. So my little thing is my little dinosaur there at the bottom. So one of the things we do at our staff meetings, we try to make them fun, and we try to keep everybody engaged and everybody happy about the process that we went to Housing First. So all the staff received a dinosaur at that staff meeting. And at the end, we were saying, we're making homelessness extinct. I want to lose my job. Everyone should be in their own home, so that's hence why you see our little dinosaur, because we are going to make homelessness extinct. And you have to stay engaged, and you have to stay excited, you have to stay motivated, your staff has to do that. That's the only way that it's going to work for you. Thank you.